If you've got 50, 60, or even 100 pounds to lose, and you tell yourself every single year, this is the year, and nothing changes, then this video is for you. I'm not gonna be talking about the diet and motivation hacks. I'm gonna be talking about the boring daily habits that you can do in order to strip your body of all its belly fat over the next 12 months. I've lost over 100 pounds myself and coached hundreds of guys who do the exact same thing. They finally broke the cycle once they stopped chasing hacks and actually fixed their daily routine. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what you need to start today in order to lose a substantial amount of weight in 2026. Okay, so imagine this. On weeks you lift, I bet you've been here before, you walk past mirrors differently, don't you? You feel just a little bit more jacked. Even if nothing has really changed that much, you feel pretty good. You don't stop to pose, you just look in the mirror and you're like, I'm feeling pretty solid. If you skip lifting for a week, all of a sudden you're avoiding your reflection. Same scale weight, totally different human. So the lesson here is weightlifting. And I know you already know that you need to be lifting weight. This is gonna be a little bit different emphasis that maybe others have put on it. So you're doing each body part 2 to 3 times a week. That would be ideal. If it's 3 times a week, I would do it, total body. If that's all you're working out is 3 times a week. If you're doing more, 4 days a week, for instance, push pull. So here is the difference, okay? Now I know you've heard this before, but I want to emphasize it. Stop being a bitch, right? Lift hard. Get really close to failure on almost every single set. If you're brand new to this, just work on form, just work on consistency. You're gonna get results no matter what. But whenever you get maybe like a year in, probably even like 6 months, push yourself hard. Stop being a pansy. Every single set, go balls to the wall. Whenever I started finding out exactly what I could do with my body, it is incredible. I maxed out my machine at the gym, the fly machine. I maxed it out just yesterday or the day before. I can't remember when chest day was. But either way, I just maxed it out just a couple days ago. I was like, you know what? What would it be like? Now, each machine is different, right? So I'm not quoting the weight here, but it was 315 pounds. That's the max on the machine. I did it 10 times. Rep 11, I failed on rep 11, so I only counted 10. But I went balls to the wall. And I remember whenever I used to at this exact same gym be doing 70 pounds because I thought that's what I was capable of. It's pretty sad, but I bet you've been there before too. A lot of guys only focus on weights and that's not gonna get them very far. Next is the big mover in my opinion. So your second habit is going to be your steps. Have you ever had an Oreo or something with like sugar in it? And you're like, dude, now my breath reeks. That's the sugars. The sugars in your breath, soda, anything like that, it's gonna make your breath smell horrible. Working out and then sitting all day is kind of like brushing your teeth and wondering why brushing your teeth in the morning didn't cover the Oreo that you just had. So steps are far greater than your workout and far greater than your cardio. Now, long term, your muscle is the most important thing, but to lose weight during that time of building muscle, because you need to be doing that, it's gonna take you a long time to build the muscle that is gonna substantially make a difference. So you need to be losing weight the entire time. And that is gonna be so much better in the form of steps. Now, especially for big guys, each step counts for a lot more calories. A lot of my bigger clients who are like approaching 500 pounds, they burn 5,000 calories a day. And I know that because I see what they're eating and I see how fast they lose weight whenever they're eating 2,500 or 3,000 calories. It's insane. And the main thing we focus on is steps. I would build up, if you're a big person, to like 8,000 steps a day. That might seem astronomical, but like I said, build up to it. Get a pedometer. I don't have it on me right now. I don't know where I put it, but get a pedometer. They're really cheap off Amazon. I like it because you put it in your pocket and you can forget it. And then at the end of the day, you just look at what it says. And then of course you look at it throughout the day to try to get more steps once you know your baseline. But let's say you find out your baseline is like 3,500. On average, you look at it at the end of the day, it's 3,500. Add, 1,000 to it. Try to get 4,500 and then 5,000 and then 6 and then 7. Once you're at 8, that's a pretty good place where I wouldn't necessarily feel like you had to increase, but you will get benefits all the way up to 12,000. I think you still get benefits past that, but not a lot of people, I wouldn't expect a lot of people to do that. I get 14,000 to 17,000 somewhere every single day, and I have to eat 3,500 calories to maintain weight, and I really credit it to my steps. Our next goal needs to be to protect your muscle. Lifting isn't enough, and if you're walking a bunch, you need to be protecting it even more. So the next one is protein. Imagine this, it's late and you're pacing in the kitchen. You're not hungry, you're just restless. I bet you've been there before, because I know I have. That's what under-eating in protein all day feels like, because you're still hungry. It's not as filling to eat the other macronutrients. So like I said, this is gonna protect your muscle, but you wanna be somewhere around 1 gram per pound of body weight. The research doesn't show that you actually need 1 gram per pound. It seems like 0.8 grams per pound is enough, but try to get 1. It's more filling and it burns calories just by you eating it. About 30%, maybe like 25%-ish of the calories you take in from protein are used to simply digest that protein. So let's just eat more of it if we can. It doesn't seem to be bad for the kidneys like people used to think. It doesn't seem to be bad in any way, shape, or form, as long as the fats that are coming with that protein are, healthy fats or minimal fats. That comes from chicken breast, lean ground turkey, really lean ground beef, fat-free dairy, things like that. If you want, my cookbook is totally free. Link in the description and the pinned comment. It makes delicious meals. I mean, cheesy meals with cottage cheese mixed with some seasonings to make like good sauces and stuff. You're gonna love it. It's down there. It's totally free. But if you don't want it, simply adding more chicken almost always fixes it. A bowl with beans and 8 ounces of chicken is a huge, and let's say, 2 servings of fat-free mozzarella, that's gonna be like 60 grams of protein. You're gonna be covered. The next point is the #1 habit that all of my successful clients have, and almost all my clients are successful, and I promise I credit it to this habit. And I don't think it's one that you hear very much, and it's getting back up. I know it's cliche. Don't leave. Hang with me for a second, okay? It is getting back up when you feel defeated, because I promise, no matter how much motivation you have, you're gonna feel defeated again. You're gonna fall off the wagon again. But it means nothing. It literally is irrelevant. Hear me. Come closer to the camera. It's irrelevant, okay? If you eat 3,000 calories, it's Christmas Eve right now. I'm filming this on Christmas Eve. I bet I way overate today. I bet tomorrow I'm still gonna overeat a little bit. I think I'm gonna end up being probably in a 3,000 calorie surplus over these 2 days. And it means nothing. Who cares? I'm gonna gain roughly 1 pound of body fat. I'm gonna have that, melted off in a week, maybe a week and a half, and then I'm gonna be right back where I started and then progressing. Guys, just move on. I have been there. I have felt defeated so many times. I have felt like a piece of crap so many times. I have felt worthless and hated myself because of how I ate. And whenever I learned to say, you know what, forget it, and just move on. But start the habits back up. Don't move on and keep eating like crap. Start your habits right back up the very next meal. Plan out your next meal. Think about your next workout. You are going to do this. The analogy that I had ready for this, and then I went on that spiel, so I hope you like that, was driving through a school zone. And let's say I don't know about like if this is like a nationwide thing, but a lot of school zones around here, they have like 8 speed bumps. I'm not exaggerating. Like only 2 or 3 cars can fit between the speed bumps. It's crazy. You don't like stop the car, you just drive over the speed bumps. And it sucks and it takes you a little while, but you get there. Stop expecting perfection. Mess ups are gonna happen. It's gonna happen again, I guarantee you. And the next time you feel good and you overcome something, you overcome a speed bump, tell yourself, hey, I wonder when that next speed bump's gonna hit. Don't think about it too much, but remind yourself, it's gonna hit. Let's move on to a low-key secret. In my opinion, it's secret. I've never heard anyone talk about it. Let's move on to this next habit. I think it would revolutionize your fat loss if you take it seriously. It's gonna feel funny, but I'm serious. So the pain here, the thing that we're going for is that you want fat loss, but your environment doesn't support it. Let's say that you needed to learn Spanish in 3 months. The most efficient way by far of learning Spanish in 3 months is to move to Mexico or move to Spain, somewhere that you have to. Your brain would have to adapt. You would have to keep using it no matter how hard it was. You would have to try and use the language of Spanish, and you would learn it probably in 3 months, definitely less than 6 months. If you only have 30 minutes of a motivating, something that moves you forward, that's your workout, and you have 167 hours of noise, that's the number of hours in a week, then of course your brain is gonna listen to what it hears most. If you have a whole week of just crap, then you're not gonna you're not gonna immerse yourself. And that's the tip here, is immersion. Moving to Spain and learning the language by moving to Spain. Immerse yourself in fitness. Listen to all of my videos. I have a ton coming out over the next, like 2 weeks because we're in the new year. So listen to all of my videos, go through them, listen to podcasts. I know there's like Mind Pump or something. There's a big podcast. That's a great one. Those guys are pretty accurate, I think, on a lot of what they say. There's some stuff that I disagree with them on, but it's fun. It's at least gonna get you in the mood, in the zone of fat loss and fitness. And now last, this is something that I came up with for this video, and I didn't realize I really taught about it, but I think it's something I've never heard anyone else say. And it's that comfort is your real problem. I actually came up with this by listening to Alex Hormozi, and just how we are more okay. He's a business guy, if you're not familiar with that. He's pretty big. Most of you probably know who he is, but we are more okay with our current circumstances instead of making a change. And he's talking about success in life. Making that change is more painful than just staying in the pain that I'm currently in. So life is easy. You're not thriving, your body's not thriving, but it's easy there at least. Imagine this. Think about zoo animals. They're fed, they're taken care of, they're soft. They don't, I don't know if you've ever heard of someone trying to release like a lion into the wild or something like that. They usually don't survive, from what I've heard. I didn't look into this super hard, but they usually don't survive because they were softened up by their comfy, cozy environment. Wild animals, on the other hand, are lean, alert. They have to be. They survived because they're alert and they're smart and they're just uncomfortable. It could be the exact same species, 2 different tigers or whatever, but different environments made them into different animals. So the lesson here is about comfort being the real problem. Add discomfort in ways, you know, you've heard of like cold plunges and cold showers, and you can do that. I hate it so much. And there's other things. What I do is things that actually improve my fat loss. Cold plunges don't seem to do that. You can argue with me with that if you want in the comments. But I go for a walk instead of sitting. A lot of times I'll sit on the floor. I've actually gotten really used to sitting and sleeping on the floor, adding a little bit of discomfort through that. And actually it's not uncomfortable now at all. But, you know, my spinal erectors have to work in order to pick my chest up so I'm not hunched over and feeling like just a slob. My core's having to work. Right now, I'm on a standing desk. I'm at a desk and I'm walking on a treadmill. Well, I'm not walking right now, but I'm on my walking pad. So I get myself out of these places where I can be comfortable. One of the most rewarding feelings, and I know you already know this, is like obvious, but like maybe you need to hear it again. We need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. Another Alex Hormozi thing. But lift when you don't feel like it. It is so rewarding. And unfortunately, the only way you can set that up, well, there is no way of setting it up. You'll just be in a situation where you don't feel like it. And then remind yourself of this. I'm gonna go lift anyway, even if it's just 2 sets. 2 sets on chest. I can't tell you how many times I've went in the gym, and because I work there, and you know, before I leave, I'll do 2 sets. Because I just don't feel like it. I'm kind of sick. Let's say I'm like, oh, I could go home and rest. 2 sets on the main muscle group I was working that day. And man, I just feel great. I usually end up doing way more. Here's something I want to leave you with. Comfort is far more expensive than discomfort. So if you don't care about your health, maybe you care about your wallet. Eventually, you're going to pay for your health. It is very expensive to be comfortable. It's very expensive to continue visiting Taco Bell. It's very expensive to not go to the gym because you're going to be in the hospital. And we all know that at least in the West, at least in the United States, medical care is very, very, very expensive. It's crazy, the things, you know, the dollar amounts that they charge for these things. Anyways, I don't want to get lost on that. That's what I want to leave you with. If you liked this video, you're going to love my video on what it takes to actually lose a bunch of weight. Because if you're not ready for it, you're going to fail. But if you're ready for it, at least you can hit that speed bump and overcome it. So watch that video next.